Mexican food.
This is a high show.
Good evening. Shout out to somebody LDBC. I am Trill Will LDBC or nothing, and welcome. It's a new day. It's a new day. Feel like some good old tears from a pimp today. Once again, shout out to the mighty LDBC. I am True Will LDBC or nothing. And welcome to True Will Talks Politics. 3 rules I have. Number 1, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you click that button, that bell icon, so that you'll be notified whenever I create content on this channel. Number 2, make sure you smash the like button. Smashing the like button pushes this video into the algorithm so that more eyes that needs to see it. And number 3, donate to the channel. Your donations are greatly appreciated. And I thank you all in advance already. Thank you for everybody who already subscribed to the channel. Everybody who always comes in here and shares their opinions and shares their thoughts. I appreciate every last one of you guys. I do. Who do we got in the building? Very opinionated in the building. What's up with it, family? Salute to you. Mr. Vino Gotti in the building. What's up, family? Pam, how are you, Queen? How are you? Dakota Dave in the building. What's up with it, family? Chosen One, how you doing, Queen? Nina, how you doing, Queen? ATX Red, my dog, in the building. What's good with it, Brody? Miss Fancy is in the building. How you doing? My brother, Freedom's March. Enjoy your family, brother. I ain't gonna be before you long. Cause I had fun last night doing a react video. I'm gonna start doing more of them. What y'all think? What do y'all think? Y'all think I should do more react videos? I think I should. I'm gonna start doing more react videos. Let's go, shall we? Title of this video is Racism is Destroying the Very People Who Hate. And let's start, shall we? Let us start. Let us start. Share the screen with you. Let's start with this dingbat Kelly Loeffler. Listen, just listen. My brother Reef in the building. What's up, big bro?
Small business optimism is really spiking under President Trump after 4 very difficult years under Joe Biden. Look, small business optimism is above its 52-year average, and according to the U.S. Chamber, in the 3rd quarter, it reached all-time records. And a lot of it thanks to the Working Families Tax Cut, that small businesses finally have certainty about what their tax rate's going to be, that 20% pass-through deduction, now the 179 expensing. That means that higher limits on the ability to expense immediately for purchases they make in capital equipment, and also R&D expensing. So I don't think small business owners have ever been so excited excited to pay their taxes thanks to President Trump. He brought us the blue collar boom in his first term, and now he's going to add to that the small business boom.
You see how they lie? Now, how many small businesses have went out of business due to Donald Trump's stupid ass tariffs? How many small businesses have went out of businesses, have closed their doors due to the facts that Donald Trump is an idiot and does not know he doesn't even know how taxes work. He just avoids paying them, right? Fox News is a propaganda machine. This is all they do at Fox News. It's a lie. That is all they do. Diane, good morning. Fox News is nothing but a propaganda arm that blows Donald Trump every chance they get. That's all they do. They lie. And 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 they lie again without impunity. They keep lying.
What are the things that look small business?
They keep lying every time. Every time. And all you have to do is show receipts. This is all you have to do is show receipts. This is all you have to do. Bankruptcies. And this is from the Washington Post. Look at all these bankruptcies. Look at them. Bankruptcies. Everywhere. Everywhere. Bankrupt. Corporate bankruptcies led by industrials, consumer discretionary businesses. There we go. There we go. Industrials and consumer discretionary businesses. Those all are going under because of his stupid policies. Donald Trump and his administration are the biggest bunch of idiots. They go, and I'll read the disclaimer on the bottom. Data set is limited to public companies or private companies with public debt where either assets or liabilities at the time of the bankruptcy filing are at least $2 million, or private companies where either assets or liabilities at the time the filings are at least $10 million. Hey babes, what's up BV Otis? What's good with it, bro? They lie. All they do is lie. This is all they do is lie. Lie. The cap. All you have to do is pull receipts. I have not seen business owners, small business owners. I have not seen that yet. And all you have to do is just pull up articles. You have articles, excuse me, right at your disposal, right here. Right here. Mom and pop business bankruptcies hit a record as debts rise. Right here. Receipts. This was wrote on December 2nd. Right here. You have it right here. Right in your face. Right in your face. Right in your face. But they don't care about receipts. They don't care about receipts. They don't care whether you're in debt. They don't care whether you lose your small business. They do not care. The only ones that are profiting are Trump and people like Trump. That's it. If you're not a billionaire, you're not profiting. And you didn't profit the first time Trump was in office. More receipts. In the Washington Post again, bankruptcies soar as companies grapple with inflation and tariffs. Businesses in vulnerable sectors found themselves caught between rising tariffs and beleaguered consumers because we can't spend money. Hi, Christina. See, all you have to do is literally sit here and break down receipts. Break down receipts. Break down receipts. Corporate bankruptcy surged in 2025 to levels not seen since the aftermath of George W. Bush's goofball 2008 Great Recession. with over 717 plus companies filing for bankruptcy through November. Don't worry, we'll got more receipts. Hey, Susie. Hey, Benny Loco, how are you? More receipts for you. There you go. The very people who hate, who voted for Trump, because if you voted for Trump, you voted for hate. If you voted for Trump, you voted for hate. You voted for racism. You voted for bigotry. You voted for transphobia. You voted for homophobia. You voted against women's bodies. You voted against everybody who you consider a minority. That is what you did. This is by Bloomberg. Corporate bankruptcy surged in 2025, rivaling levels not seen since the immediate aftermath of the Great Recession. Import-dependent businesses absorbed the highest tariffs in decades. And why do they absorb higher tariffs? Because Trump's an idiot. He has no idea what he's doing. None of these people do. They have no idea what they are doing. I'm going through it. I'm going through it. Just showing y'all where they lying at, first off. Now, let's go back to Elon Musk and Doge. You voted for that. You voted for Elon Musk and Doge. What did Doge do? Did Doge save us any money? Thank you, Nina. Hello, Brandon. Yep, Reef. Exactly. Trump's net worth has increased in billions since returning to office. His cronies have become more wealthy as well. So is his raggedy kids. His kids are more wealthier now because of his tariffs, goofy policies, starting wars in sovereign nations, siding with Russia over Ukraine, the whole nine. Ending USAID has killed over 650,000 kids and people overseas, ruining our soft power overseas. This is what happened. This is what happened. Doge did not do anything. Don't worry, got receipts. I got receipts. I come bearing receipts. I swear it's Christmas. I swear it's Christmas. Because I showed you coming through with receipts.
And the President of the United States posted this chart showing federal employment down by more than 250,000 jobs since January, writing, big news for the USA. However you feel about the size of the federal government, this is the president taking the Christmas holiday weekend to celebrate putting hundreds of thousands of Americans out of work. And despite all of Trump and Elon Musk's work to tear down federal programs, in almost every sense, I think in every sense, the Doge project was just an abject failure. First of all, government spending, which was the putative reason for Doge, is up this year by more than $450 billion, money that went towards ripping apart programs people need. Now, Doge has gone out with a whimper. Dissolved sometime in the fall, according to the White House, so Musk and his Doge team kind of slink away from the disastrous project as Americans and people around the world suffer the consequences. And the President of the United States posted this.
See? They cost Americans. Hold on, let me find it. There you go. Doge, which was supposed to save American taxpayers, money hand over fist, according to Trump and Elon Musk. They cost us $453 billion more than what Joe Biden spent this time last year. $453 billion with a B, billion dollars. There is no savings. What was the purpose of Doge? You voted for it. Your hate for Kamala Harris allowed you to vote for the goofiest administration known to man. The goofiest administration known to man. On this side of the Mississippi, these are the most racist, inept, goofy, stupid, greedy, corrupt, sorry sacks of dog dung I've ever seen in my life. And because y'all hated this woman so much, y'all made up every excuse to not put her in office, to give her an opportunity to run this country efficiently and effectively, keep our salt power intact, keep our foreign dignitaries in good graces with us so we can keep our superpower status around the world. This woman knew good and well about foreign policy, being that she was very involved in foreign policy decisions when she was the vice president. The woman knew what she was doing, but you couldn't bring yourself to vote for this lady because you wanted this goofy orange pile of dog dung in office. And what did it cost us? Everything. It cost us everything. 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 If you look at what Doge did, you will see that the only purpose of Doge was to eliminate all oversight so that Donald Trump and Elon Musk can get away with their crimes. That was it. That was all. I don't care what news they came in. I don't care what news Fox News goes out here and lies about. I don't care what Elon Musk gets on shitter and lies about. I don't care what none of these goofball idiots do. I do not care. This is a fact. Under every Republican president in our lifetimes, they have caused a recession. Every single Republican president in our lifetimes. That's everybody in here. Everybody who was alive when every Republican president was in charge, they ran us into a recession. Every Democrat president since we've been alive, every Democratic president has came to clean up after every goofy, dumb, stupid Republican policy that ran us into debt. These are facts. These are facts. Facts. Don't care what nobody says. These are facts. Hello, Julie. Hello, Diane. Now you have Donald Trump, Donald Trump and everybody that is listed in those Epstein files that have circumvented every ounce of our lives. They still will not. They will not. MAGA cannot bring themselves. They can't bring themselves to admit they were cummed. Y'all know I got the show. The results. I like this video.
It's all Republicans in the files. It's all Democrats in the files. No, it's all fucking elitists in the files. It's all members of the top 1% in those fucking files. You know who's not in those files? There's not a single line cook. There's not a single mechanic. There's not a single landscaper, a single construction worker, a single warehouse worker, a single call center worker. Not a single member of the working class, and I guarantee not one single illegal immigrant is in those files. You know who is in those files? The victims. And who are the victims? The victims are your children. They're not their fucking children, no. Why is that? Because these people target the most vulnerable, the weakest among our society. And they've been doing it for fucking generations. Start punching upwards. Stop fighting your fucking neighbor to your left and your right. It's not their fault that you are struggling. Whose fault is it?
That's my whole point. That's my entire point. The goofball MAGAs come in here arguing, talking about the most irrelevant stuff of all time. Nor do they care about the elitists stealing all your money, getting the most welfare, pointing you against everybody else, but you're not looking up to see who's the ones causing all of this harm to you and your family. Y'all don't even care. You don't even care. You don't even care. Your hatred for brown people and black people is so much. So much. Your hatred is so much. You hate me so much for nothing I've ever done to you. You hate me so much. You hate me so much that you are willing to sacrifice your very own livelihoods just so you can own the libs. So you can own the libs. Leo August, your mama's ignorant. She should have swallowed. She should have swallowed. Look at this goofball. Norbia Lanise 8442 says the only thing Doge did was expose your party facts, and now you're efficient. You look stupider than you sound. Y'all keep thinking this is a right versus left thing. Y'all keep thinking this is a left versus right. This is a Republican versus Democrat thing. This has never been that. This is a dumbass redneck poor motherfucker versus us. Look at Shane. Shane wants me to fail so bad, don't you? I bet you can't do a live and get 60-something people in here. I bet you can't. 24 likes. Your channel is crashing. Look at this fucking goofball. Look at him. Look at this dork. Look at this dork. Your channel is crashing. I got more views than you. Let's go look at your channel, Shane. Let's go look at your channel. Let's see what you got on your channel. Let's go look at your channel, Shane, shall we? Yeah, I understand. I see why you're hating. I understand. I totally understand. I understand, Shane. I understand. You got 134 subscribers. I got damn near 11,000. How many views you got on your channel? Let's see. Let's see how many views you got. 810 views. Well, how many do I got on mine? Let's go see mine. Let's see Will's. Let's go see Will's. Hey, Will, how you doing, bud? Let's see. How many? 2 million? 2,046,113 views on my channel. I see why you hating. I see why you hating. I see why you're hating. I understand why you're hating. I understand. I totally understand. I understand where the hate comes from, Shane. I do. I understand. I totally understand. I understand, Shane. I understand. Anyways, in your ways, I see why you sitting over there hating. I see why you hating. Because you could never do a video for 2 hours and have 100 people in there the whole 2 hours you on live. Oh, play one of his videos. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see what this Wayne got to say.
Short video.
Man, get off them people internet. This man is on. This man ain't got no internet in his house. You got
I
other.
just watched Prep. Boy, did he hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah, what I tell y'all? What I tell y'all? Toothless, sister screwing hillbillies every single time. It never fails. Look, he's missing all his teeth. Gonna smoke his teeth out his mouth. Lord Jesus, come on, man.
I lost that one yesterday. Yeah, I broke it eating pretzels.
Nah, you broke it smoking meth.
So I need some dental work, and I don't know how to monetize my videos, so I need some help. If somebody could help me with that. I want to start doing.
You talking about monetizing his videos, and he ain't got 1,000 subscribers on his page.
Workout videos and exercising and doing some prepper videos. So I just wanted to put that out there. And I'm about to lay back and watch a movie now. And everybody.
You in that single wide trailer. You in that single wide trailer, bud. Oh, you are in that single wide trailer there, bud. Hold on, I didn't get to show y'all. Damn it. Oh, let me show y'all again. Because it's funny. There you go. Let me go back. So y'all can see him in his missing tooth.
Yesterday, I broke it eating pretzels.
I broke it here.
I lost that one yesterday.
Look at him.
Boy, did he hit the nail on the head there.
In my mouth.
I lost that one yesterday. Yeah, I broke it eating pretzels. So I need some dental work, and I don't know how to monetize my videos. So I need.
This fool talking about monetizing his video. He ain't even got 1,000 subscribers on his page. But you're talking about 24 likes and my channel's crashing. Every video I ever done got more views than everything on your page. You in that raggedy ass single wide, you got other problems to worry about, bud. You don't need to be worrying about me. See, that's the problem. That is the problem with you racists in this country. Y'all white ignorants keep worrying about black folks. Y'all keep worrying about us and what we got going on, and I'm doing better than you. Nitty Tree, what's up, Brody? Y'all keep worrying about what our black behinds are out here doing when you should be worrying why you living in that raggedy tin, that sardine can you live in. You should be worrying about your own livelihood, sir. You're worrying about the wrong things. They don't never have teeth. They don't. Look at this racist right here. Look at them. They can't help themselves. They always got to come into our spaces. They always do. It's every single time. These raggedy white ignorants come in here every time. I guess JD Vance told y'all that y'all don't have to apologize for being white, even though you never apologize for doing anything. I guess cause the couch humper gave y'all permission, not the you talking about, oh no, I'm black. I know a fucking sun dodger when I see one. I know one when I see one. And I know for 100% certain fact, because ain't no black person in the history of black people come in any black person chat talking about what's up with us blacks. You are a Crocozord. You, sir, are a sun dodger. Cosplaying on the internet like you black. You're not. You're not. You're not. What's wrong with being white? No, you tell me. What's wrong with being white? Tell me what's wrong with being white. I can tell you everything what's wrong with being white. You're entitled, you're mediocre, you're violent, you hump kids, pedophiles. Y'all don't take accountability for nothing. You're cowards, you're victims. You want to cry about everything and then project all of your failures on everybody else around you instead of looking up from the people stealing from you. Ain't nobody ever said anything was wrong with being white. We told you to stop being fucking racist. Why can't y'all ever do that? Why can't you stop being racist? Why can't you stop being racist? Being racist is killing y'all. Y'all are losing everything. Y'all are losing everything. Y'all losing your livelihoods. You ain't got no money. You still in that shitty ass trailer you're in. You still losing your food stamps. Your health insurance about to go through the roof. I'm still confused as how you're superior to me when you suffer from the same shit that I'm suffering with. You're in the same system. You don't have no special white tax that you pay in this country that's less than mine. You don't have no white health insurance that's lesser than mine. You don't have no special privilege, but you still think you're superior to me. Look at him. Look at this goofball. Look at him. I told you. What did I just say? Racist motherfuckers never take accountability for nothing. Oh, the black people made us racist. So you mean to tell me, now y'all help me out here. Black people in America have suffered over 400 years of oppression. We suffered over 400 years of discrimination, lynchings, rapes, murders, disenfranchisement, and we get the blame for every single thing that you can think of. When it's always been the elitists who've been sitting back watching you crash out. This fool said the reason why is because black people were given the world and abused it. When did that happen? When did that happen, rap star? When did that happen? When did that happen? Fish Sticks Kanye said, I can't critically think, but yet he can't answer a single question that I asked. Jesus Christ bananas. Jesus Christ bananas. Jesus Christ bananas in a handbasket, Lord. Please, Lord. Oh, you a Sambo. Good God, dude. You a Sambo? Come on, man. Rap Star Report, bro. Come on, family. Don't tell me you a coon, bro. Don't tell me you a damn sellout, man. Don't tell me you a sellout, homie. Don't tell me that, G. Don't tell me that, bro. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that, G. Don't tell me that. And then I gotta go do a whole history lesson on showing you just how white people went and murdered other white people in the name of Jesus Christ. How they killed their own women thinking they were witches. How they came over here and stole land from people who were already here, went back to Africa, stole all kinds of black people, brought them back over here, abused them, then lied about it, fought a war about it. Come on, man. This dude said, "It's chess. Tell me where it's chess at, dog. Tell me where it's chess at. I gotta get on that, bro. I gotta get on that. Look, Fish Sticks Kanye. I always want to bring up one example when I can bring up thousands. All right, you want to do that? Let's play a game then. Let's play a game. Let's play a game, buddy. Let's play a game. I guarantee you're gonna lose. Yeah, ta ta ta. Yeah, ta ta ta. Yeah, ta 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 ta. Yeah, ta 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 ta. You sure you want to do this? You sure you want to do this? I just want to make sure before you do this, before you go out here and put your, you sure you want to do this? You sure you want to do this? Yeah. Okay. Bet. Very well then, sir. Well, you know, Will, I'm the master of receipts. I am the master of receipts. So you want to bring up the black guys who pretended to be, okay, cool. All you have to do is text white on white crime. And then boom, go here. He pointed it right in my face. Detained shoplifter at Walmart pulls out gun, tries to blow away police officer with a gunshot to the head, but it jammed. Oh yeah. All right. He shot his wife to death. He shot his baby. Let me go back. Let's go back. Sheesh. Man fired shotgun at Amazon delivery driver who mistakenly pulled in his driveway with her teenage son in the car. Wow. You still want to do this? You still want to do this? You still want to do this? Not yet, Sheldon. This goofball is still trying to, nigga, you got a civil war. You got slavery. You got the Christian Crusades. And you in here trying to say who's violent or not? Nigga, y'all fought a war to keep their own black people. We all know it. So you mean to tell me that your ancestors fucking another grown-ass man in front of his family ain't sinister, ain't sick? You mean to tell me your ancestors who ate people, who wrote cookbooks about eating black bodies? So you keep, okay, bet. I got you. Trigger warning. I got you. Black people are more violent. Okay, bet. Hey, who shot Charlie Kirk? And who's in this picture right here? Do you see a black face in that picture? Yeah, fish stick Kanye. Do you see a black person in this picture? Look at this fool over here lying. Look at you lying. More black cannibals in history too. Sure, bud. Sure, buddy. Is there a black face in that picture? Only black face I see is in that tree back there. Okay. So tell me again, who started all the massacres that's ever happened on U.S. soil? Who did it? Let's play a game. Since you think black people are more violent. How many black people are in the Epstein's files? Whoops. Who leads the nation in child pedophilia, CSAM, messing with little kids? Oh, that would be you. Who has, matter of fact, hey, what's the cause of the highest amount of gun deaths in America? Rapstar, I ain't even talking to you no more. You're a coon. I ain't talking to you. K said, "What's up, family?" I ain't even gonna waste my time no more. You cooned out. You don't know your history at all. Don't know shit about history at all. I'm not even gonna waste my time. Yes, Brother Reef, exactly right. This motherfucker's in here trying to talk about black people like we're the most violent. They can't name. I'm ready to start now. Now, I'm going to clear my screen off. I'm going to clear my screen. That's what I'm about to do. I'm about to clear my screen off. Because since they want to talk about this dude, look at this dude, man. Look at this fucking goofball. Look at him. Look at him. Dude is brainwashed, but I'm showing you a real live picture that's on a postcard. That's where I got the still from, dummy. DP Rocker, what it do? Hey, King Corleone, the highest demographic for gun violence and suicide. And who commits the most suicide in this country? White men. That's a fact. That's a fact. That is a stone cold fact. Why do y'all kill yourselves so much then, if you're not violent? Why do you kill your whole families? Look at this fucking goofball. You want to point fingers. Dude, you do realize you're black in America, right? You do, you realize you're black in America. You do realize you are black in America, right? Look, like most slaves weren't sold by West Africans. Jesus Christ, bananas, you lost. Jesus Christ, bananas. Y'all do not know anything about what the fuck y'all talking about. Nothing. Y'all don't. So he just takes his hate out on whites. Sure I do, bud. By showing you the real life history. That's real life history just posted on my screen. Where a black man that your ancestors lynched. On some bogus charges, by the way. Right there. That's a real life still shot from a postcard. How many lynches did black people commit on U.S. soil? Let's start there. Since we're the most violent. Jesus, y'all are lost. Y'all are lost. Y'all don't know shit about history at all. At all. Y'all just in here just talking. Yeah, you're right. You are right. And I love that picture because the only people in this country that's got Neanderthal DNA in their blood is not me. Hey, I'm glad you did. Thank you. I can't take cooning no more. I don't like coons at all. But anyways, back to the fish-eye fool again. He says he keeps thinking that somehow, some way, black people are more violent. How many wars have black people started? How many? How many? What about picnics where thousands of your ancestors came to cookouts to watch black bodies hang? How many cities have black people destroyed because they were more prosperous than white? How many white cities have black people bombed in the history of America? I want to know that one. Since black people are more violent. Yep, Trump just bombed Nigeria for some made up reason. Oh, the Christians are. When did Trump ever give a fuck about anybody in Nigeria? My brother, Coach Hudson. I'm glad you landed your plane in here, sir. Yeah.
Peace, brother. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, brother.
Man, salute to my brother Trill Will, and peace to everyone in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
So, first of all, brother, I just have to say this because I heard you up here cooking.
Mm-hmm.
To all the white people in the chat, I have to say that I feel bad for those of you who are patriotic and you are sick of the parasitic racists who are among you in your communities. I don't think they understand that you racists, your own community, have been sick of you for a long time now. Anytime someone tries to speak about the safety of your children, the future of this nation, you try to first make it about it being left versus right. But I see straight through your selective morality. You know, I don't know if you remember True Will, but I remember being in the military when President Obama was first elected. And the way I heard some white soldiers speak about our commander-in-chief and not be checked on the spot. Then I was still in the service when President Trump was elected. And if you said anything bad about that man, you were reprimanded and you were dealt with immediately. You all have selective morality and you all are hypocrites. And for a black man to come into this chat to defend your master, yes, sir, you are a coon. You are the worst kind of brother, because in the middle of this brother fighting, you're going to come up here and defend what shouldn't be defended by you at all. So when you talk about violence, let me tell you something about violence, and salute to all the veterans in the house. Brothers, since you want to say it's both sides, I want anyone in the chat to tell me a military base that white people go to, and when they go to that base that they are briefed as white people to be careful because there's a black mob outside of the gate that you might run into. I want you to tell me one military installation that whites have to go to worry about being attacked by a black hate group or a hate group at all. It does not exist. So that's something that I had to go through. That's something that Trill Will had to go through. Any black person who went to Fort Leonard Wood, you got those briefings about St. Roberts. If you went to Fort Benning, Fort Gordon in Georgia, you got those briefings. So don't try to put your hate and what's in your heart on us. Then when we get and we introduce to white people who have not had any experience with blacks, and they come to boot camp, we take our time. We say, listen, man, I know you saw the propaganda of black people, but we're not all like boys in the hood.
Facts.
We're not all thugs. We're not all gangsters. And by the end of boot camp, by AIT, when you get to your units, you become friends. But a lot of times, let me tell you what happens to the racists. You start seeing that you can get privilege. You start seeing that you can be pushed through the ranks a little faster than your black brothers and sisters who have kept you safe on deployments, who have had your back, because your situational awareness of danger isn't always like your brothers and sisters who come through these war-torn communities in the country, and then you turn your back. You see, to see Pete get up there and talk to generals the way he spoke to them, I remember when you was coming in the National Guard. I remember black officers helping you pass those tests. But then for you to get in this position of power, like many of you undercover racists and cowards do, then you turn on us. So to see a brother, to see a racist come through these chats, it just lets us know how much of a hypocrite you are. It lets us know that it's not even about left and right, because that's a veil that you all hide behind. You hide behind, I'm a Democrat. You hide behind, I'm a Republican, and Coach Hudson is neither. But what I have seen is this. This is the difference. I remember being young and hearing people say, well, we are the party for law enforcement. We are the party for veterans. We are the party that represents. You all are liars. You all are hypocrites. Because when Trump and the January 6th situation happened and law enforcement died on those steps, you all excused it. Blue lives didn't matter then. And the list can go on and on. You all pick and choose. But my brother Trill Will, when he starts talking about our country, and maybe that's our fault. Maybe it's our fault because we sit up here and try to say we're in it together. But some of you, and it's white people in the chat who have commented and said, listen, you racist, we are sick of you. And it's interesting when you talk about being a victim every day is exhausting. Let me tell you what's exhausting. What's exhausting is fighting in every war with you because you can't win by yourself and then come back to America and be treated like crap. What's exhausting is hearing on Fox News every day how you're discriminated against. How as a white man you have it hard in America. You just have it so hard. That's exhausting. What's exhausting is as an American traveling the world and they think automatically that we're idiots because this is what we're being represented. This is how the world is seeing us. What is exhausting is every time people try to come together to fix something, you get in the way. Every single time we try to progress forward, whether it's white women, black men, children, everybody else, it's some of you racist, hypocritical white men, some of you spineless, self-hating Negroes who feel that if I just defend the master, if I just defend them, I will have a seat at their table, when they're going to use you like a token. And what is the purpose of a token? The purpose of a token is to be spent. So go ask all these brothers who got that wake-up call, that ninja wake-up call. You want to talk about being a victim. Trill Will, can you believe that?
Nope, I can believe it. It's clear as day. They always look, but what was the whole purpose? If black people want to be victims, coach, then what was the whole purpose of the formation of the Ku Klux Klan? The Ku Klux Klan was formed because of white grievance, because they lost the Civil War, because they seen prosperous black communities and they hated seeing it. They seen black communities wanting literacy in their communities, adequate health insurance, decent paying jobs, a decent place to lay their heads at night. They wanted just equality. Black people ain't never been whining about, oh my God. You had a 400-year head start. You had a 400-year head start, and I'm still better than you. What does that say about you? You're mediocre. You can't think for yourself. There ain't an invention that you didn't steal from somebody else. There ain't an idea that you ever had in your rational little pea brain of yours that is an original thought. There's nothing that you do now that they ain't already tried 50 years ago. There's nothing Trump has ever done that's an original thought. Everything he's doing, he's cosplaying Ronald Reagan. He's cosplaying Richard Nixon. There's nothing that y'all have ever done, ever, that y'all ain't whine about black people having equality, that you ain't whine about black people actually just seeking a way of life. You can't name a white podcaster right now that's on the right wing that don't sit around and whine all day. All Charlie Kirk did was sit around all day and whine because he couldn't make it into a military school.
And y'all love it.
Because he dropped out of college. Because he wasn't smart enough. That's why he went around on college campuses debating other idiots just like him. Just like Fish Sticks Kanye. Just like that goofball. He went around talking to dummies like him because he knew that he had an edge over. He was slightly smarter than his mediocre ass. He was slightly smarter than him. So it gave the optics that Charlie Kirk was actually smart until he went in front of a smart person. As soon as he goes in front of a smart person, what happens? He falls apart. Oh, they're attacking him. Oh, man, he's attacking him. What has Alex Jones built his platform on? White victimhood, white guilt. What has, let's see, just pick a random, Tim Pool. What has he built his platform on? White victimhood. Nick Fuentes, white victimhood. Oh, our women, we can't make babies. We can't do, and it turns out he's an incel. He's never slept with a woman a day in his life. But here you are. Oh, it's victim day. It's black. Me telling you about who your people are. And I'm showing you a whole video right here where a whole group was formed in 1865 that's still in existence today that's whining, crying because they're mediocre and they see black people doing better than them despite having every rule of the game rigged against them. Black codes, you don't want to talk about that. You don't want to talk about convict leasing. You don't want to talk about the Civil War and how the Civil War really ended. You don't want to talk about none of that indulge in fact. All you do is come in here and talk out of a place of emotions.
Come on.
Because you are a failure. You have 400 years to whoop our black asses and do better than us financially, to do better than us societally, and you still fail. That stands more about you than it does about me. I ain't complaining about my place in society because I earned my way there. Nothing was handed to me. Nothing was handed to my brother Coach. Nothing was handed to any black face you see in this chat. We earned every bit of it because you rigged the system against us. And we still whooped your ass. That's why y'all hating on black women. The most educated demographic in this country is black women. The most entrepreneurial spirits in this country are black women. And you're jealous. Y'all have always been jealous. That's why you bombed Rosewood. That's why you bombed Black Wall Street. That's why you destroyed Wilmington, North Carolina in 1898. That's why you destroyed Elaine, Arkansas. That's why you blew up Ocoee, Florida. That's why you dropped the bomb on the Move building in 85. That's why you do. That's why y'all resort to violence every single time, because you're mediocre. Donald Trump is the poster child of mediocrity. This whole administration is a poster child of mediocrity. Y'all are so stupid. You're so stupid and full of hate that you don't even realize you're killing yourself. You're ingesting poison while spitting poison out. You don't even care. You don't even care that you're killing yourself. You're willing to die on a hill of mediocrity just so you can own a black person. Oh, I can show you. I can show this black. I can show them I'm better than them because Trump told me I was better than them.
Come on.
That's all Trump did. He honed in on your apple pie, your weakness, your hate for my black skin because I'm better than you. Despite having every obstacle that you can put in my way, I'm still better than you. I'm smarter than you. I'm faster than you. I look younger than you. I got more money than you. I'm more prosperous than you are, but I earned it. I didn't have to backdoor nobody to get to where I was. I didn't have to cut nobody. I didn't have to go to a cousin who knew somebody that knew somebody to get that job that I wasn't qualified for. You did. I didn't know the sheriff to call in a favor to expunge my record. You did. It's real funny that y'all always come in here talking about black people are always playing victim when we've been victimized for over 400 years. And it's still victimized today. It wasn't until we freed ourselves. Go ahead, Coach. Go ahead.
Do you all realize how far we could be as a country if we just unified as a people? But let's sit here and really think about it. Who is always in the way when we try to unify? And to those of you, let me just go ahead and disabuse you of some of your ignorant Fox News talking points, your ignorant white supremacist talking points. Let's break it down. When you talk to us and you talk to us about gang violence, black on black crime, well, let's go through the history. Let's not have amnesia, people. You see, when we had organizations, when we had unity, there were people. And guess who those people were who assassinated our leaders? Not only assassinated our leaders, but through the COINTELPRO program, infiltrated all of our organizations, every single one, not just the revolutionary ones, because you all would try to use that lie and say, well, the Black Panthers was a domestic. No. The NAACP, SNCC, all of our organizations were infiltrated, and you, like a devil, like a mischief-making enemy, you all made sure to do everything you could to tear down those organizations. So don't come talking to me. You don't know nothing about the Crips, the Bloods, the Gangster Disciples, the Vice Lord, who started off as protectors of their communities. And then when drugs, and last time I checked, none of us own any planes. Last time I checked, we weren't going to go get the drugs and push it through our communities. You all don't talk about that. So don't come talk to us about black on black crime. If you all want to talk to us about black on black crime, I tell you what you do. You all get together, since you care so much, and you go to the FBI and you ask for reparations to all the black communities that were affected by the COINTELPRO program, since you care so much on your high pedestal of morality.
Facts.
But you're not going to do that because you don't really care. It's just another strong talking point that you get to use to try to crap on black people. When you speak about victimhood, when you speak about crying and whining, don't come to me with your emotion. I want you to answer my question that I asked earlier. I want one of you bigots to tell me a military installation where a white American has to go get a briefing about a city that he isn't safe in or she isn't safe in. You can't, because it does not exist. If the city is not safe, it's not because the white skin that they have.
Right.
That is a fact. When you want to talk about victim blaming, do you all understand how many people have come to this country and tried to leave y'all alone? Do you understand how many people have tried to make neighborhoods for themselves? And there you are. There you are causing hell. You all will sit up here because it's safe. And I love social media because it shows everybody what's really in some of these people's hearts. See, they smile at you in the grocery store, right? They go to the Mexican restaurant, ordering all the avocado, acting like I love this so much, and then they come on YouTube being the bigot that they are. Asking for someone to help them monetize their channel. Ain't that about a bitch? But you all want to talk about victimhood. You all will sit up here and say all types of racist crap in the chat and then go to an R&B festival. Go to a jazz festival. Go to a blues festival. And you want to talk about, we've tried to leave you alone. We've tried to go on our own. And you know what you did? During Reconstruction, when we bought land, you all would wait till the man would leave the land and rape the women and children. That's what happened.
Facts.
Down to the point when we started fighting back, they sent the troops back into the South. So don't come talking to me when you don't know the real history, because you're going to have a hard time looking in that mirror, because I know the things we're saying you weren't taught in your miseducation school system. Anytime we try to come together, anytime we try to unify, here you come effing it up.
Every single time. Like clockwork.
Sure will. They kill me acting like they give a damn about black youth. Now, I am Coach Hudson. I'm in the streets with the youth, trying to keep them from killing each other. So when you come to me and try to talk to me about black on black crime, I'm out there doing the work. Now you tell me the work you out there doing to stop your sons and daughters from going into schools and shooting them up, going into grocery stores, shooting them up, going inside a church where people are praying and they allow them into the church with open hands. That small time don't work on me. So you keep your mouth, you keep your raggedy snagger-tooth mouth shut when you talk about black people.
Thank you.
Because when Trey Will started this, he was talking about patriotism. He was talking about both sides. He was talking about things that could move the country forward. And then you racists have to come in here because you are a mischief-making devil. You are a parasite. This is a great empire, but you know what's going to tear it up? It's this parasite, which is you inside eating it up.
Factuals. Will said, Coach. They look in every instance in America with black people. After we emancipated ourselves, let me start there, because that lie that they told, Lincoln and white people, they let go, they freed the slaves. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Because if they freed the slaves, then where did the Ku Klux Klan come from?
Come on.
Where did black codes? Where did Jim Crow? What happened during Resurrection? What happened when matter of fact, I'll tell you another thing that pissed them off. Okay, during the Great Depression, what were black people doing during the Great Depression?
Making that money.
We had a Harlem Renaissance going on at the same time y'all was scraping change together to eat. And you hated it because you already stole everything from black folks. And we were masters at taking nothing and making something out of it. And y'all can't figure it out. You still can't figure it out. Y'all don't even know what the origins of soul food came from. Y'all don't even know the origins of how black people were able to survive. How were they able to keep themselves? And you wonder, and look, I'm gonna tell you something else. Here's another statistic that you can't deny. The only demographic in this country whose demographic is declining according to the census, it ain't us. We're still at 13-14%. It's you. Because the very venom that y'all are spewing on our people, you're killing your own selves with. Your women don't want to reproduce with you. And then y'all come in talking about the great white replacement theory, remigration. You even got the Secretary of State. You even got the weird Homeland Security Director posting on Twitter talking about remigration. Now you tell me who's the problem in this country. It's not me. It's not Coach. It's not BVO. It's not none of us. We ain't the reason you're failing. It's you. It's always been you. That's why every time you seen Black prosperity, you had to slither your white ass, thin-lipped ass over into our conversations. You had to bring your ass over, make up some false allegation of violence, so to justify you killing us. Just like now, you see all of your comrades picking fun at a man whose neck was knelt on for damn near 10 minutes, and you make every excuse for how that man died. Y'all try to credit it to fentanyl and all kinds of crap, even though you had an actual expert who sat on a panel on a undersworn testimony and told you the reason why this man died was because of asphyxiation. The knee being placed on the back of this man's neck, squishing his trachea. Oh, he can talk. Did you know that you can talk if your trachea is squeezed within 15 millimeters? That means if I got my hand around your neck, you can still talk. Even to your last breath, you can still talk. That was proven by the testimony of a forensic scientist that sat on the panel, that sat on a sworn testimony in a court of law under the threat of perjury, and said George Floyd only died because of asphyxiation. But here y'all are making memes, 5 years sober. Then the moment we say something about your bigot, that y'all made a martyr, now all of a sudden, oh, we're wrong. Charlie Kirk was a saint. Where? The dude was a podcaster who was a white supremacist who died by the very venom. That's the perfect example of what I'm saying. Charlie Kirk is the poster boy of what I'm saying. Your very venom is the thing that's going to kill you. Now rest with that one. Set that one on your spirit and let it marinate for a minute. What's up, BVO?
What's going on? What's up, Coach? What's up, Will? How you brothers doing?
Oh, we coolin', fam.
You know, this conversation is a good conversation. It reminds me of a book I read, Community of Chaos, Where We Go From Here. It was Dr. King's last book when he was in Jamaica. Mm-hmm. And the thing that I'm just kind of so shocked about is that the same things that plagued him seem to plague us. I used to hear my grandfather talk, and I never in a million years, I'm 35, I'll be 36 on my birthday. I never thought I would be having the same conversations that my grandfather had. Because unfortunately, I was raised by my grandparents, but it worked out for me. Mm-hmm. But I just look at the overall landscape, and prime example, we sent my daughter to a summer camp, a Jewish summer camp. As we all do as Blacks, we want to give our kids what we think is a better opportunity. And I couldn't believe how much the Jewish people work together to have their own community center right outside the neighborhood I grew up in. Mm-hmm. And I was just thinking to myself, like, this place was hell when I was growing up. And you telling me right across the railroad, literally right across the railroad tracks, these guys had a summer camp with pools, tennis courts, basketball courts. You know, I remember you used to have to be a gladiator to get to school. And I'm just wondering, and you guys could tell me if I'm wrong on this, but where do we go as Blacks when we continue to fail at what we seen our grandparents at this point? For some of us, our great grandparents prospered at. That's the big question I have, because when I look at brothers from the 50s and the 60s, they got this book out called Our Parents Live Better Than Us. And I think the thing is, for some reason, the Black community, I feel like we just so stuck on what as my grandfather used to call white people, Mr. Gilmore's doing, that we forget the work that we got to do. Because when we give away turkeys every year with Brentway, which is BVO stands for Brent's Very Own, the whole thing is I wish I could do more. Because my wife says it all the time, you get so tired of having to ask white people, or I'm gonna just say Mr. Gilmore, you get so tired of asking Mr. Gilmore to do everything. And it's like whenever you ask Black people to do something, it's like for some reason there's like this unneeded competition, or I don't want to see you do well. And I guess I'll be trying to speak to that more than what the other side is doing, because the other side, they're winning. I mean, my grandfather told me the story of, they didn't even call my uncle. My uncle's name was Tim. He used to call this nigga Tim. But he couldn't mess up no good job or a good year by talking back. And I'm thinking, how did these dudes that was born in the 30s and 40s do so much better than us with third and fourth grade educations? What you guys say to that?
Okay, I can cover that one. That was easy. You got to look at it. You from the time your grandfather grew up to where we are right now, things are very much different. Back when my dad was growing up, my dad was born in 1953. My mom was born in 55. My grandfather was born in 1913. When they were growing up, when they were coming up, they had it easier economically. They had it way easier, despite being disenfranchised in jobs. That's what pissed all the racists off. The same thing with the Great Depression. My grandfather lived through the Great Depression, lived through it. How was they able to manage despite having less? And now we have seemingly more and we're doing less. Notice that every black leader in the black community, everyone, Fred Hampton, MLK, Malcolm X, all of them had some kind of coon or sambo that they installed around them, keep tabs on that person so that they can set them up to eliminate them, just like that. We have no leadership in our community right now. Why is that? Because every black leader that rises in our community is considered a threat. Why was Fred Hampton killed? Did he do anything dangerous? Was he out here blowing up federal buildings and shit like that? No, this brother was out here feeding kids and educating them on their real history. And that was so much of a threat to the FBI, they had to kill him. Marcus Garvey, same thing. Same thing. Fannie Lou Hamer. All of these black substantial leaders in our community have been eradicated. And it put in a place that is so scary that people don't want to take the risk of going out here and putting their name on the line. Because of you having so many coons. That's why I hate coons worse than I hate actual white supremacists.
Come on.
To be real with you. I can't stand a coon. Any buck dancing Sambo that come out here trying to preach to me, oh man, when we gonna hit and kill you? No, I don't like you. Stay far away from me. Stay away. There's a reason why I don't like coons. I went back and I read about the Haitian Revolution. And De Gris, who led the revolution, I learned how he died. It was black people who killed him. They cut his body up and they spread his body around on the island of Haiti. And a black woman gathered his body parts so he can have a decent funeral, a proper burial. Now you tell me, if these people can cause so much fear in the brains of black people to cause them to turn against their own selves, why would someone put themselves and their families at risk to sustain the same thing that Martin Luther King sustained, Malcolm X, bomb threats, phone tappings, lies against their name? They said they had a whole rumor going out that Malcolm X was gay and all kinds of stuff. They made fake letters from Elijah Muhammad to try to make Malcolm X look like he was taking a side against the great prophet Elijah Muhammad. They did everything they could to try to destroy leadership in our communities. That's the reason why it's different. That's the reason why we're still singing the same song that they sung. Because they remove essentially black leadership. You see what happened with the Black Panthers. Black Panthers was out here creating free lunch and free breakfast programs for kids, helping out communities, educating our youth, keeping them out of trouble. That was so dangerous to these races. They had to infiltrate it using a dumbass coon. But I ain't gonna hog it all up. And shout out to Boss Red in the Super Chat. He said they use black and brown success as an excuse for their mediocrity and subpar life because they had all the advantages and still fall behind us. That is a fact. That's a fact.
I think you made some great points. My only question would be to kind of give people more context. Do we give Marcus criticism for hiring people who weren't qualified to run those programs that he run? He was notorious for that, for giving opportunities that were people that didn't necessarily deserve them or even know what they were doing. Can we criticize them, or is that a bad thing to do when you say some of the moves that our ancestors made were not the best? When you talk about Malcolm, right? I know what you mean when they try to say he was a homosexual. People don't understand that the things people had to do to survive back then, it's just totally different than now. It's totally different now. My grandma, my Aunt Sarah, God rest her soul, was born in 1910, right? Got a chance to see her right before she passed. They used to jump in barrels. Now I don't know. This is her story. They would jump in barrels to like hide from white people, or if somebody white was walking on the sidewalk and they had their church clothes, they would have to walk in the mud. This is in Wynn, Arkansas. Mm-hmm. So I get what you're saying with that, but I'm just saying, I don't know. I guess I feel like it's like a crisis in leadership, because if you think about the best guy we had, probably was Medgar Evers, but we seen him get blasted in his own park, in his own driveway. Yeah, mm-hmm. So it's like, I guess I'll be thinking some of the people who survived weren't the right people to do it, because I think even when you talk about Elijah, who people don't give no credit to, we don't even realize that he wasn't political at all. He more or less thought of it as, let's stay quiet, get our money, become rich, and not say nothing. I think I'm wondering, because I kind of take that approach. Do you think that approach is good, or you think it's important to let the people know where we want to be? Because I've always seen more success, and people try to say all the time they love to call black people who just kind of play their role, Uncle Toms, niggas, and all this crazy stuff, right?
Right.
But I seen Sammy Davis bringing the most powerful nigga in the world to the Million Man March. I seen Louis Armstrong in the 30s travel like a king all over the world, where people who were way better than him couldn't. And I'm just wondering, is there an alliance that has to be made, or what do you think, in your opinion? This is a good conversation. I love these conversations, man.
Let me get some of that true.
Go ahead, Coach. I was about to pass it to you anyway.
First off, let me say this. You know, black people are not a monolith. We don't all have to agree. Mm-hmm. We don't all have to be together. We don't all have to follow the same leadership. One of the worst things, first of all, let me break this all the way down. Mm-hmm. One of the worst things that happened to black people was integrating without a real economic plan, number one. Mm-hmm. The reason why that is regardless if you follow Dr. King, Stokely Carmichael, Malcolm X, mm-hmm. Medgar Evers, regardless of what leader you believe in and what philosophy, black people's dollar circulated. Now, mm-hmm. why does that matter so much? That matters because whether your father was a janitor or your father was a doctor, the janitor, the scientist all lived in the same neighborhood. Now, mm-hmm. we all know that images matter. There's a whole mm-hmm. generation that thrived just to be drug dealers and pimps because that's all that they saw. But before we integrated and the doctor moved to the white side of town, the scientist moved to the white side of town, you had something to look forward to and say, you know what? I want to be like Mr. Johnson, who is a doctor. I want to be like Mr. Williams, who works for NASA. We had all of these examples. So that's the first thing. So your very existence as a black child, you saw greatness. Not only that, regardless if you believe in God or not, your black ass went to church. And the reason why you went to church is because everything pretty much went through the church. If you needed a job, there was no internet. If you needed a job, 9 times out of 10, somebody in the church would know somebody to get you straight. If you couldn't pay for medical expenses, if your child was failing in class and needed help, we couldn't go to the white side of town. So you went to the AME church. We all were forced to stick together. Now, philosophies, leadership. See, the worst thing they started making us stick is we have to follow one person. Everybody wasn't with what Dr. King was saying. Everybody wasn't with that nonviolent stuff. Most of the South was actually against what he was saying. And the black man that came before Dr. King, the AME church got rid of because he was talking more about survival, being armed, etc. Mm-hmm. Dr. King tried to take an element from Gandhi's book, which it never would have really worked because Gandhi was dealing with a enemy who was the minority in his area.
Preach.
Now, when somebody's playing football and they getting whooped, the coach is gonna call a what? When a football team is getting whooped, the coach is gonna call a what if he got one? He's gonna call a timeout. Mm-hmm. Black folks have never had a timeout to say, hold up, we missed the bus. Let's come back for a second. On top of that, because there are, shout out to the black folks who are doing the work. But let me speak about my experience. When I saw brothers in Chicago doing things growing up, I seen black brothers taking charge. Whether you was a gangster, whether you was with the Nation of Islam, whether you was a Hebrew Israelite, whether you was a GD or Vice Lord, if you was a kid in the street and somebody knew your mama, even in the 90s, you better get your butt to school, because not only the gangsters might whoop you, you know your parents is going to whip you. Coach, what are you saying? What I'm saying is, it don't take one person. When you have love for your brother and sister, perfect love casts out all fear. So that means I don't pull my phone out if BVO is doing wrong. I don't pull my phone out when Trill Will is doing wrong. I put my stuff down and I get busy. Now, that don't mean I be stupid. That don't mean I go out here and be dumb, because I'd rather you be like the lion versus the bull. The bull charges the train. The lion let the train pass to live to fight another day. At the same time, there is something going on called the internal ceiling effect in the youth, in the black and brown children's minds. What does this mean? This means the internal ceiling is a unspoken limit on ambition, confidence, self-concept, and even your success. They feel that it is temporary or an isolated situation, because they're not reinforced by the greatness behind them, the history that came behind them. So on top of that, you got to remember, trades were in the school. So just like the church and the school, which were our two great allies at that time, before integration, granddaddy could take care of the household with just high school, because he had a trade in wood shop. He had a trade in working on cars. We have a number has been done so bad on us, where now you got young men like, hey man, I don't got no way to support my family, so I'm not going to listen to you. They don't want to listen to the old head, because the old head ain't got no real wisdom or knowledge to get them out of the situation they're in. That is what they feel like. But there was a time you could go to the church house, you could go to the pool house. Somebody who looked like you is going to help you. So we have to get out of this mindset that we need another Dr. King. We need another Malcolm X. We don't need nothing but each other, because what we realize is we are the seasoning. We are the seasoning of this country. People ain't coming all over from across the world to see what these other folks is bringing up. It's our halftime show that they want to watch. It's our artists that they're coming to see. Facts. It's our festivals that they're coming. You are the seasoning. We don't need nobody else. All of the leaders that God has blessed us with. And I just want you to think about the prophets in the Bible. We have had almost as many prophets in just the 1900s. When I say prophet, men of God who have given us instruction on what we need to do as a people. We don't need any more. We don't need any one person with a great voice. All we got to do is wake up, look at each other and say, you know what? I'm going to help that brother. Facts. You know what? We need our children and our women to see us as black men taking charge. It's cool. Just like when the white lady approached Malcolm and she said, Brother Malcolm, I'm with your plight. How can I help? And Malcolm said, there's nothing you can do right now. Now, that might have seemed harsh to some of you in the chat. That might have seemed, man, he don't want no help from white folks. That's not what it was. What he was showing is, it is important for our children, and especially our women, to see images of black people taking care of black people, because there is a sickness in us right now, and you have to keep in mind, we've been through integration. We've been through the COINTELPRO program. We've been through mass incarceration. We've been through real movements that worked against us that has torn us up. Trill Will, BVO, myself, we're not generations too far from the crack epidemic. You still got people trying to get themselves together from the crack epidemic. We didn't do that alone. We didn't just do that on our own. But you know what Perfect Love would have did, my brother? Perfect Love would have said, you know what? We're not going to sell this poison to each other. I don't care how much money we make. look at what it's doing to us. So there's a sickness where you can have people like a Diddy doing what he's doing, and they say, well, look at it. Now we know, my brother True, my brother BVO, we know that there are wicked white men who have done the same thing as him, but they are not going to publicize it the same way because they know that lineage matters. They know that images matter. But until we get ourselves together and realize we have to love each other enough where we say, you know what? I'm going to help you regardless. I have to love you sometimes more than you hate yourselves. And I know some people are going to say, well, what about Nipsey when he came back and helped? What about this person? Let me tell you something, family. There's some things you're going to have to choose to live and die for. And starting with the family that's in your household. If you're not ready to live and die, if you're not really to be successful and be good for the family in your household, you can't do nothing for the neighborhood on the street.
Facts.
So every young person that hears Coach Hudson, I want you to understand, don't look for a Dr. King. Don't look for a Brother Malcolm. Those men were molded and shaped in a time period that is gone. You have everything that you need. And you got God. Listen, the same thing that blessed Malcolm, the same thing that blessed Dr. King, the same thing that blessed Elijah Muhammad, that same frequency is inside of you. You are made in the image and the likeness of God. You don't need nobody else.
Talk. My God, today. Oh, and I'll add on to what you just said. Then you got to tack on the multitudes of laws, systemic laws that they pass. Like the FHA, the GI Bill, Homestead Act, all that, all the advantages they gave the white people to move them out of the so-called ghettos they created for themselves. And they stuck black people there in redline after they sucked all the resources out of it. So you got to add that into the equation as well. And my brother Coach Hudson is absolutely right. That's the reason why you have a Coach Hudson in the Trill Wheel right now. Because we have the same mentality as those brothers who came before us. And we're only passing it along to everybody out here. And we're not only doing that, we're passing it to our children too. Because trust and believe, my kids know. Trust and believe I'm gonna pass it to my kids. Trust and believe they're gonna know everything that I know and then some. Because the pathway that they laid for us has been set with such a stone example of what happened when black people, all we ever saw in this country was peace, equality. Leave us alone. We won't bother nobody. We didn't ask to come here in the first place. Like, matter of fact, I'll give you an example. When the rise of the Ku Klux Klan came, who stepped up and protected their neighborhoods? It was the former Union soldiers who were doing patrols to keep their families and other families safe at night, because those night riders came there to cause fear, destruction, chaos, and murder. That's what they did. It's exactly what they did. Look up the history of it. I challenge all of y'all to go and look. It's a part, and another reason why black people think the way we do is because they hid history from us. They hid history from us. I was a grown-ass man when I found out that black people emancipated themselves during the Civil War. I was a grown-ass man. Didn't know nothing about it. I didn't. Got to be real with you. I was a grown-ass man when I found that out. Is that a slight on me? No, because I didn't know no better. Coach didn't know no better. You didn't know no better. We did not know any better because we didn't know it was there. Just like a bunch of financial advantages that white people took advantage of. They gate kept and they didn't tell us about. We had to go and figure it out on our own. What do you think? Like, everything has been set up in this country has been set up due to racism, credit system, racism. Because they want to look at black people and say, hey, you can't afford that. But they'll give that white man who done foreclosed on 3 houses and filed 3 bankruptcies, they'll give him a loan faster than they give your black ass who pay your bills on time. That's a fact. That's still a fact today. They wouldn't give you a $500 credit line back in the 60s, but they'll give that white person down there that filed 3 bankruptcies, they'll give that to them. You know why? Because every time we tried to use what they gave us, they slammed the door in our face because we knew how to make do with nothing. My great-grandmother, I remember conversations with her. I remember she used to make whole cake bread and iced potatoes. And of course, some of y'all in the chat is what is the world is Will talking about? Whole cake bread, nice potatoes, something they used to eat during slavery, and sharecropping. It's nothing but potatoes with gravy on it. Whole cake bread was just how they use and they staunch the flour, get it together, bake it, pull it out, cut pieces off of it, and you eat. You got a meal. These white people did not understand how we were capable enough of feeding ourselves, and they gave us crumbs. We took crumbs and made soul food from it. We took the limited resources they gave us for adequate housing, jobs, education, whole nine. We took that and we became. How is it that black people are now the smartest demographic in America now? Even though they stole education from us, they kept us from doing it. They even had threats of death to you if you got educated. That is the reason why you see our community. All of this stuff that Coach Hudson said and the stuff that I added on to what he said, these are all factors you have to stir into that big old pot to wonder why we're in the condition we're in. All they had to do was take a couple black people from our neighborhoods, people that you know, and prop them up. And matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up, BVO, because look at Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj ain't even Black American. Her family has no lineage to slavery in America, but she profited off of our black asses. Only for her to turn around when she felt she was at some level of prestige and tell us to go fuck ourselves. They've done that. Nicki Minaj ain't the first one. She ain't, and she won't be the last. There have been plenty of people who've made it, quote unquote, made it. But I guarantee you this, when they're done spending that token, she's gone. Just like Stephen A. Smith, just like Candace Owens, just like every other black face that you see out here perpetuating the stereotypes of white supremacy, that every single one of those motherfuckers will be gone in a snap of a finger, and they'll bring another coon just to replace them. That's the reason why our community is where it is.
I will ask this because I heard Coach say something that's true, but I don't agree with, that we don't have to all follow one, which I don't think we should, but I do believe in the support of each other. Yeah. If you ever seen the famous video where they was on the train, Stokely, I think his name is real. He called himself Kwame something. I don't like to call him Stokely, but I forgot the name he like to go by. But Kwame he was on that Kwame Ture. So when Kwame was on that train, he said all the scared niggas are dead. People forget who was standing right behind him. Dr. King was right there with him. Dr. King was right there with him when he said all the scared niggas are dead. Play the footage. He was right there when everything was going crazy in Selma. It's a fact that Malcolm went down there to support. He said, what can I do to help? And I'm saying the leadership has to be where we help each other. Nothing works like working together. Working together works. And I'm gonna tell you how I know it works. There's I'm in heavy trucks, right? So when I say heavy trucks, I mean semis, light, medium, heavy duty. There's two guys right now that own the dealership that I used to work for. These two guys used to watch cars together, right? Mm-hmm. One was a black dude, one's a Jewish dude, right? Black dude and Jewish dude get together. They got one of the biggest heavy duty stores in Northeast Ohio, right? Mm-hmm. And it was all off just them understanding, hey, what I can't do, you can do. Where I can't go, you can go. Because one person that changed my life, people probably never heard of this brother, is Reverend Clay Evans. When he used to come to Cleveland and tell us about when we could actually be somebody, and I don't know if people know about Clay Evans, I think he was a preacher in Chicago, but the stuff that he would say, I couldn't believe it because he made me as a black person feel like I could do anything. I could go anywhere. He was the first one to make me realize the Nation of Islam is not my enemy. We all brothers working for the same thing. He the one that let me know this.
That's why I respect Farrakhan. That's the absolute reason why I respect Farrakhan. Because Farrakhan has been preaching that same message for years, generations. This man's been decades. He's got decades of lineage preaching that. But shout out to Lamont Griffin in the super chat. He says, blessings fam, white folks despise themselves. When left to their own devices, they destroy each other. They only agree on how they're going to treat us. We must do the same. Much love. Salute to you, Lamont Griffin. That is absolutely the truth. Like, you got to think about it. They're going to politicize everything negative about black folks. They're going to make us all believe that it's something that it's not. And you want to know what the FBI said when J. Edgar Hoover said the biggest threat in America was? It wasn't Islamic terrorism. It wasn't the drug epidemic. It wasn't none of that. It wasn't gun violence. It was Black unity.
The Black Messiah, as he said it.
Black unity is the biggest threat in America because Black unity is how we emancipated ourselves during the Civil War. That's what happened.
So you think Fred was I always say this because people forget Huey P. Newton was a very flawed guy. We know about Bobby Seale now because he's a chef and all that good stuff. But yeah. I think out of that movement, people don't realize how special Fred Hampton was. And I think when you talk about a guy that died as young as that, that's the problem that keep happening. And you know, my girlfriend say this all the time. People might not agree with this, but he said, why the hell you think they burned Alexandria's library down? And I thought to myself, I never thought of that. But my granddad, who only finished 3rd grade, knew there was a reason why they burned down Alexandria's library. The famous library that we hear about, everything comes from. The story of Atlantis comes from Egypt. People don't know that.
Yeah. That's why they cover up history, dog. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. They have to take away why do you think they're burning books now? Primarily Black books that talk about Black history. Why did they demonize the 1619 Project? Why did they criminalize CRT, critical race theory, which only talked about the real systemic reasons why Black people are in the positions and conditions that they are in? Why do you think that they demonized diversity, equity, and inclusion as much as they did? Because Black unity is power. Black education is power. Black conglomerates, period, is power. That's why they blew up every successful Black neighborhood in the history of this country. They did something to destroy it. Black Wall Street, Wilmington, North Carolina, Rosewood, Ocoee, Florida, everywhere you can think of. Everywhere. No matter where you think, over 100 massacres in this country, they've been because they did not know how those Black people were able to build their own libraries, how they were able to build their own doctor's offices. Like during integration, there was more Black people fighting against integration than it was. It was because during integration, there was a high school called Dunbar. Dunbar High School had the most Black lawyers, Black doctors, Black school teachers, Black politicians that lift their gates, and they were very successful. One successful example is Colin Powell. Went to Dunbar. They systemically tore the walls of that school down. They couldn't handle the fact that Black people are more intelligent. Why do you think they go after the most intelligent person on the Supreme Court, Ketanji Brown Jackson? That woman's not a DEI hire, didn't earn it. That woman wasn't stupid. Do you know her fucking qualifications? Do you know her graduate degree, the doctorate that she got? That woman was super smart. That woman was, I listened to Joy Reid talk about how smart Ketanji Brown Jackson. I have never in my life seen a woman as smart as Ketanji Brown Jackson. That woman knows case law like the back of her hand. She knows case law like I know music. And I've been in music since I was 5 years old. And I'm 47, over 42 years of music experience, and I'm really damn good at it. The sound you listening to right now, I created. That's me. Every bit of it. This is me. The music y'all hear me play on this show is mine. I created it from here, through these, with my keyboards back here, and my MPK back here. That's what, and my bass guitars back here, my guitars back here. Black people are powerful. They hate to see us do anything that requires them to look mediocre. Why do you think they went against Simone Biles when she was doing gymnastics and she was doing stunts that none of those mediocre white girls could do? Why do you think they had to develop rules to keep her kind of under lock and key so she don't go out here and excel over them? Why do you think they changed the rules of the NFL to accommodate white boys who couldn't run as fast or hit as hard? Why do you think they changed the rules of the NBA? Every single time we're on an even playing field, we dominate, and they know it. Go ahead, Coach. I'm here. I can go for hours now.
So I'm not sure where we disagree. So let me reiterate what I was saying. Never did I say that working together is not good. Never did I say that having a leader is not good. What I'm saying is this, because I believe the question was, what did the generations before us have that we don't have, or what did they do different that made them successful? Correct, BVO?
Correct.
Okay, so before 1967, there was never one leader that all black people followed. Never. And when you talk about Stokely Carmichael and Kwame Ture and Dr. King on the train, standing on top of the train, we have to look at the context of these lessons in history, regardless of who you follow, which is what I'm saying. Whether you are the Deacons of Defense in Louisiana, whether you are in New York with the UNIA, whether you are on the West Coast with Huey P, or you are with the Chicago Black Panther Party under the leadership of Fred Hampton, never did all of these people agree with each other. And I think when we talk about our historical greats, one thing about white folk that they don't really do is they don't talk about their greats and then talk about the flawed parts of them. They make them seem like that they were the best thing since sliced bread. You know why? Because what they need for their lineage to learn from that lesson is the great thing that they did do. So whether it's Dr. King, whether it's Malcolm X, whether whoever it is, the point is, if we all are on the same mission, if we all have the same objective, we will get to where we need to go. And when people say, well, we need to work with others, here's the thing about it that keeps happening to the black community. We are some of the most big-hearted, welcoming people in the universe.
Facts.
We allow the Arabs to come into the community. We allow the Jewish merchants to come into the community, the Asian merchants. The problem is, once everyone gets a good support system going off the tip of the black community, they shoot off. They're gone. We need to do that for ourselves with no excuses, point blank, period. And we don't have to have the same exact way about going it. There's a movie, I think it's called A Night in Miami, where you have Ali, Jim Brown, Sam Cooke, and Brother Malcolm in the same room. Every brother and sister needs to watch that movie, because in the movie you realize all of these brothers in the room have a different view on the way we should go, to the point some of the brothers almost are about to fight because it gets so heated. Kind of like the conversation we're having now. They're having a similar conversation. Which way should we go? Ali saying one thing, Brother Malcolm saying another, because he's disagreeing a little bit with the way Elijah Muhammad is saying. And when you talk about Elijah Muhammad, you can't leave out that Elijah Muhammad did sit down with the Klan. He sat down with the Klan, letting them know that if you touch mine on this land that we purchased in Georgia, it's going to be hell to pay. So even though he was more of a religious leader, he was down to get militant sometimes on certain principles where him and Malcolm bumped heads. But that can be a historical conversation later. The point is, those brothers in the room had different ways of how they were going to go. Sam Cooke saying, listen, man, I want to keep making the people dance. And when all things were said and done, he made the great song, A Change Is Gonna Come. And how that affected a song that we play till this day. Whether you are in Ohio, whether you are in Florida, whether you are in New York, family, we don't need one voice. We just need to be on the same page, because what I learned from the enemy is when they on the same page, it keep going. It is by no, and I will relate this back to boxing when I speak on the hypocrisy of those who are against Black American talent in the sport. Since Jack Johnson, leading all the way up to now, do you all realize that the same mission to either create a great white hope or destroy the great Black American fighter representation as the strong masculine hero has been the same since 1910? And the people who wanted to praise Ali, they didn't praise him. when he was doing this thing. They waited until he was no longer a threat. So if those who are working against you, if those who influence our women and our children are on the same page, I believe we should be on the same page too.
I definitely agree with what you're saying. I definitely agree with that. I'll say the thing I'm trying to figure out is this, and it's an ongoing conversation, as we all know. But we gotta find. Not saying we gotta have one leader, but we do gotta get somebody that's at the top of the game that can speak the way Muhammad Ali did. Because one thing about Muhammad, even when we go to boxing, most of us that follow boxing, like I'm a boxing junkie, we all know that. Joe Louis was the better fighter, but I feel like because of his time, he wasn't as political as Ali. People think Ali better. And I think charisma goes a long way. I think people loving Ali the way they did, it goes a long way. You hear Bob Dylan talk about him. You hear, if you think about Ali, every great event of his lifetime, he was there. When Sam Cooke was unfortunately, which I always thought was a setup at the hotel by that young lady, that was a setup. How the heck you didn't know who Sam Cooke was back then? He was there for that. He was there with Elijah. He was there with Malcolm. But I think the overall thing that just kind of sucks about it is you get so exhausted with the fight, man. You just want to be able to enjoy yourself. And I'll be honest, man, even when you start making a lot of money, you still see people who doing so bad. Like when I go and I see how bad East Cleveland looks, man, I can't believe it sometimes. I can't believe that they let a place that was such a beautiful place in the 60s and 70s have potholes big enough to swallow up your whole car. And it's 95% black over there. That's where Tiger Johnson's from. And it's like, how come everywhere you look, man, you can never see no black prosperity, man? It's like you in a constant fight. Because I know people say stuff about Candace Owens. I don't agree with Candace Owens at all. But let me ask you guys, this is a question that I always had. Do you believe somebody can sleep white and talk black? And I remember my grandma said it all the time. You can't, and she used to always say this about Harry Belafonte and Quincy Jones. She can't take them serious. This is her and my grandfather's thing. If you sleep white and talk black. You guys think that's a thing, or you think that's just an old thing that they had back then?
I think people try to popularize like, okay, I'll give an example. Like when you have an extensive vernacular. I remember hearing this when I was growing up. Because I can talk and I can verbalize how I feel very, very well. And I know my cousins used to always say, you just talking white. So what does that even fucking mean? Like because I'm intelligent, that's associated with white. What about white is intelligent? There's nothing that can concrete that. But we was given that stereotype as kids because they, you know what I'm saying? They wanted to make it sound like white people were superior. And we didn't even know better when we were kids. Because all we ever heard the adults around us say, oh, you talking or acting white. Because you're acting, because you act polished, because you act dignified, because you talk with a sense of vernacular. That's what they used to say in our communities. I know I heard it a lot when I was growing up. I didn't care. That still didn't stop me from being smart. Like, okay, and then I'll go back to what you were saying. Like, we have versions of Ali, Wilder, like Ali. This man is very vocal about his people, but he's one of the most shitted on fighters that I've ever seen in my entire life. I've seen black people make all kinds of think pieces. They're doing them now. There ain't nobody coming to say, hey, man, Wilder, man, I'm sorry to hear that your lady did what she did, and she did all this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. I ain't seen none of that. I see black people calling this man a simp, saying this man is this, that, and the third, not even having no kind of decorum for this man whatsoever, when this man literally put heavyweight boxing on his back and he made heavyweight boxing relevant again. It was Wilder who did that. There was no other fighter, not the Klitschko's, not Anthony Joshua, not Tyson Fury. None of these motherfuckers made boxing relevant, heavyweight boxing relevant. It was Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder that did that. But you won't hear nobody come in and say that shit. Yeah, they'll make every excuse. Oh, he got plastered by Fury. Without talking about the fact that this man cheated this man 3 times. Cheated him. He had a system behind him that helped cheat.
Come on.
He had a whole system. This man was literally working with a criminal who Interpol right now is investigating. That's why you ain't seen Fury step foot in this country since he fought Wilder.
Come on.
But nobody talks about that. Just like, and again, I'll use Devin Haney since we're talking boxing. Devin Haney gets cheated by Ryan Garcia. What's the number one thing Tank fans and all these other weirdos who want to get one up in the conversation say? Oh, I can't unsee that left hook. He got a glass jaw. He got power. But none of their favorite fighters will never fight that man. But this man is willing to put the whole sport on his back. And his dad is one of the most intelligent brothers I ever had the pleasure of meeting. His dad is out here putting game in Bud Crawford's ear so he can get the biggest payday of his career. He's putting game in these young fighters' ear, but they are all on the internet. You see them look just like us. As a matter of fact, I'll make it even personal. Look at the LDBC. You got a whole community of Malcolm X's, Martin Luther King's, Marcus Garvey's, Fred Hampton's. You got a whole community of them right here. I'm one of them. The General's another one. Joe Townsend's one. My brother Shelton's one. Coach's one. Reef's March, that's another one. We got Brother Reef. We got Cali. We got all these brothers in here with the intellect, the vernacular, the testicular fortitude. My brother won LVZ. All of us, we are descendants of Malcolm X. We're descendants of Martin Luther King, and we speak with the same power that they have. Now tell me why everybody that hates on us looks just like us. And I'll tell you why. Because COINTELPRO worked. That's why. And that's why they still fight again. You can Google it, you can get on YouTube right now, go in the search bar, type in LDBC and watch all the hate videos pop up. And you'll see all of them, a majority of them look just like me. They look just like you. They hate on us. They hate on us when we was in Atlanta having a meet and greet. All of us coming together, meeting with one another, enjoying each other's company. No hate, no jealousy, no nothing. That's why I did a show with the General came on the stage and me and him chopped it up for hours. That's the reason why I played the videos and I showed all the pictures and all the stuff from what we did at the meet and greet, because we had Black people sitting on this internet, on Luther Vandross's internet, eating on us, having fun together, enjoying one another. We weren't doing nothing wrong. We weren't out here selling dope. We weren't out here beating on no women. We weren't out here doing none of that disingenuous shit. We was literally just enjoying one another, in the company of one another, having fun, and they were making hate videos. That's the same thing. That's why the funniest statement I ever heard was art imitates life. Everything that you can think of, boxing, the LDBC, you can see it all over the place. You see the hate. They'll make up excuse. Oh, I'm broke. Will a bitch ass nigga. I'm a liar. I'm this, I'm that. And motherfuckers can't even bring a receipt to prove that. All they need is optics, just like white supremacy. All white supremacy needed was optics to cause fear through our communities. That's all the Ku Klux Klan, they based their whole idea and principle on. That's why they burned crosses. That's why they sought out the weakest among us so that they can torture them. That's why they had public lynchings, to keep fear going. They rule by fear because they can't rule by nothing else. So again, I go back to what is talking white. How is talking white correlating to intelligence? When I had brothers like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Louis Farrakhan, I had all these brothers I can look to. My own father, I can look to them, and I see the intelligence that I've always wanted to aspire to. That's the reason why you have a Trill Wheel now. That's the reason why I'm the man I am now, because I had people in my community, my big brother, my cousins. I had all of them to look up to. I had all of them to aspire to be great. I had examples in front of me, and we have to be the examples that we want to see. That's why I do what I do, because I want to be one when it's all said and done. When I take my last breath, I want it to be said that I fought on the right side to help my people. That's why I teach adequate history. That's why I go over the parts that you can't talk about that. That's why I teach them. That's why I was giving out books on my channel. And I'm going to do another giveaway next week. This book right here. This book right here. I'm going to give away 5 more copies next week on this show.
Good book.
I am going to give away 5 more copies because I want more people to get in tune with what real history is. This is one of the best books I've ever read in my life. Michael Harriot is a genius. Reading, learn your history. The more you learn about your real history, the more you learn about the unwhitewashed version of America that they keep hiding from you and they keep demonizing, while they take advantage of the very exact thing that they demonize. I want you to know about it. The same thing I give you, I give to my kids. I want you to grow. I want all of us to grow mentally, physically, everywhere possible, spiritually. I want us all to grow together. That's why I'm going to keep doing my thing. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep, if I got to give out 20, 30 more copies of this book, I am going to give this copy to every single soul that I can give it to, because this right here, this is a blueprint to get you started on your journey to learning real history in this country.
Hey, Will, you see Callie in the back?
Hold on, I didn't see you. My bad. I was too busy running my mouth.
And I got that book. Shout out to Will for that book. I actually went and bought that book.
Oh yeah, greatest book I ever read, dog. I like being I think I've always tried to find my place, and I'll make it personal for me. I've always tried to find my place in the LDBC because I was one of those ones talking boxing at one point in time. But I knew I had one thing that was special. I can gather crowds and I can hold crowds for a long period of time. I had a charisma about me to where people are more engaged with me because they hear what I say. And they understand it because I know how to explain it into a way to where I make everybody understand it. I didn't know that this was going to be the journey I went on. I didn't know at the time when I started doing content creation. I got discouraged a lot of times. I did. I remember when I was at 500 subscribers, getting discouraged. I remember when I lost my channel, my first channel at 1,300 subscribers, and I lost money behind it. Then I had a whole crew of brothers behind me. My brother Shelton, Drew, 7-8, BFTB, all my family. They came, they told me, hey, Will, build another one, dog. This one's gonna be better than the last one. And they were right. They were right. And now look at me. That's because Black people pushed me. It made me come out of a place of being comfortable. Because for a long time, I had social anxiety from PTSD, coming back from the military. I did for a long time. I had social anxiety, which then in turn, it turned that my biggest vice into my biggest gift.
God, that's good.
That's the reason why you have a Trill Will now. And that's why I can speak proudly when I talk about the history of my people. I can talk proudly when I expose the lies told to us by these devils. And that's why I would continue to stand on my platform and stand on the shoulders of my ancestors who bled and died for me to be able to do this. Why I don't entertain certain conversations and I don't entertain certain people. And that's why I extremely hate coons, sambos, shuckers and jivers, tap dancers. I can't stand them. I can't stand them. I'm Black first. What's up, Callie?
What's happening, fam? I was just gonna tell you. You might want to look into the history of your family as well, right? Yep. So you can look up and see what some of your ancestors did, and I did what my family, right?
Right.
And I found out that my grandfather was very prominent in Huntsville, Texas. Helped to create a church, helped to create a university. The university is no longer in existence, but it's been marked. It's now a landmark in Huntsville, Texas. So I'm pretty sure you heard of Sam Houston, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys heard it because Sam Houston State University, right? Sam Houston was a congressman. He was the governor of the state of Texas. And there was a Joshua Houston who used to be his former slave, former servant, who became his friend. And his friend was my grandfather, Strother Green, who helped set up a church in Huntsville, Texas, and also helped set up a college in Texas, which Like it's actually being used as another campus right now, but the campus that it was is no longer quote unquote in existence today because it lost its accreditation in 1988, 1989. So that's why I tell you, look into your family's history, man. I mean, I looked into my family's history from my father's side to my mother's side, whether it was my grandfather and my great grandfather Jack Holly that you see in the picture right there.
Yep.
As my avatar, right? I'm a descendant of the Slocum, Texas massacre. I'm also the descendant of Anderson Willis, who owned a lot of property in Fairfield, Texas, Freestone County in Texas as well. Very prominent, rich, whose parents were from Africa, which would actually be by the Biafra, which is Igbo land. Actually, if you look at the genetics, his wife is gonna end up being Igbo, and he was Yoruba, right? And this was in the 19th century, early 19th century, where we had roots that come up straight from Africa, right? And they were prominent in Texas. Also got screwed over and had land stolen from them. My grandfather Jack Holly, his land and his stores and the businesses, and my grandfather Abe Wilson, his land and his businesses were stolen. They were farmers. They were artisans, right? And they had all these different skills. My grandfather Anderson Willis, he was an artisan. It was matter of fact, his skill set was transferred directly from West Africa. He learned his skill set because of my great great grandfather was an artisan in what would be modern day Nigeria, right then. So they were, smelting iron for West Africa, and those skills were brought here as part of the transatlantic slave trade and applied. And it was one of the ways that my grandfather, my great grandfather, was able to amass such a huge war chest of wealth. Yeah. you just have to look at that. That's why I said look into your history, and as well as the history of Black Americans as a whole, and see what we've done here, man. Because I'm telling you, but I also look at history and what our ancestors did in West and Central Africa as well, and you'll see, man, there were some bad motherfuckers, bro. There were some bad motherfuckers in West Africa, man. So I think a lot of folks tend to think that our history starts from slavery. It did not, right? And then you got to look at the complexities of what took place over there as well, what was going on around that time, and your whole worldview would change. There was a lot of nuances that took place right over there and here. And on top of that too, some of your ancestors were in the Caribbean. Some of your ancestors were brought from the Caribbean. They went to the Caribbean to be seasoned, right? So basically it's called being broken, right? So they would be more docile when they were slaves on mainland America. And so they would be less likely to do an uprising or try to what is I'm trying to say, try to push back or try to fight back for freedom, resistance. Right? Resistance, exactly, right? And so that's why they would send your ancestors to the Caribbean. Unfortunately for them, the Black folks in the Caribbean were very resistant as well, but they were resistant here too, right? They had all these different maroon.
That real quick, shout out to my brother Joe Townsend in the super chat. He said, my family operates a Black-owned business going on 40 years, founded by my father, who was a community activist and a Black Panther. No need for me to look outside for leadership. It starts at home. Shout out to Joe Townsend and his father, man, and man, Pops is inspirational, dog. And I watched Joe Townsend and his family do some wonderful and some mind-blowing things, and I'm proud of my brother, man. The old Hillside, his father doing what he's doing. I've seen the works that they done. I've seen the power that they have in their household. Him, his brother, everybody in his family. Shout out to my brother Snow Townsend, man. That's my dog for life, for real. I wanted to read this, and again, I'll go back and I'll say once again, I don't believe, and I will be lying to myself, that all white people are racist. I just believe that a majority of them are comfortable in racism. Because if that were true, then you wouldn't hear the story about Carl Braden. Carl Braden was a white journalist and a labor organizer who chose to stand against segregation when it was dangerous to do so. That year, he and his wife, Ann Braden, helped an African-American family, Andrew and Charlotte Wade, buy a home in a white neighborhood where black families were blocked from living. The house was quiet at first, then came the threats, phone calls, warnings, hate letters. On the night of June 7, 1954, a year after my dad was born, the home was bombed. No one was killed, but instead of protecting the victims, the state turned on the people who helped them. Carl Braden was arrested and charged with sedition, accused of trying to overthrow the government simply for opposing segregation. He was convicted and sent to prison. The bombers were not punished. Carl lost his job. He was labeled a traitor. His name was placed on watch lists, but he did not stop. After his release, he continued organizing, writing, and speaking out against racism and injustice across the South. He worked closely with civil rights groups and labor movements, believing that silence only helped oppression survive. Carl Braden lived long enough to see the civil rights movement reshape the nation, though he knew the work was unfinished. He died in 1975, 3 years before I was born. He did not throw a bomb, he did not spread hate, but he paid a heavy price for standing on the right side of history, and he never backed away. Shout out to Carl Braden. There's his picture for when he went to prison too. And there's the house that got bombed of that black couple that he helped out. That's the reason why I do not operate in ignorance either. It's a reason why. Because we have enough ignorant people out here. We have enough ignorance going on. We have an abundance of ignorance out here. Trump, this MAGA movement, every single one of these people are ignorant. They're stupid. And they depend on you being just as ignorant, or if not more ignorant than they are, so that they can continue their whole propaganda machine of lying to you, pissing on you, and telling you it's raining.
That's right. That's
why we have MAGA. That's why we have Trump. That's why we have the most incompetent white men in America running this country into the ground. Coach, you got anything else? I gotta hop up off here.
Coach. Go ahead, Coach.
I just want to thank my brother Trill Will for giving us a platform to come on and speak on. If anyone doesn't remember anything else I said, just remember this. Number one, white people who are our allies never have to be reminded that they're our allies. They just do. That's first thing.
Facts.
Second thing is, black people, remember this, because Joseph Townsend made a great point. Speaking on Deontay Wilder, speaking on Devin Haney, Clarissa Shields in the sport of boxing, we haven't handled those people right. We haven't handled our. Imagine that Deontay Wilder in the early 1960s. We're not the same people because our minds are not right. Until we get our minds right and get back to loving each other the way we should, we are not going to ever have another Ali. We're not going to have another Dr. King, another Kwame Ture, because people don't feel like putting their lives on the line for people who are going to return that love. I land my plane there, brothers and sisters.
Shout out to you, brother.
I'll say something real quick, so just to piggyback off what you're saying. I said first thing, it starts with the fact that I'm sorry, but I'm going to say facts over feelings. First thing is most of our people don't even know our history. Our people, they don't know where we come from, so they tend to look at everything from the vantage point of people being enslaved and beaten down. They don't know about all these Maroon crews. They don't know about all these uprisings. The fact that they fought, they didn't just fight when they got here. They were fighting on the continent. They were fighting on the ships. They were fighting on the islands. They were fighting here. I just want you guys to understand that you got to stop this thinking that our people were docile, and that's why a lot of you are afraid to claim or to respect who you are. You view your ancestors as weak, and none of them are weak. Not the ones from the 60s, not the ones from the 50s, not the ones from the early 1900s, the 1800s, the 1700s, the 1600s, or even some from the 1500s. None of them are weak. And for some of you who view them as weak, no, you and some of you would have never lasted or been able to survive through what these people survived through. The reason you're here today and to be able to even disrespect your ancestors is because how tough these people were.
Facts.
Learn the real history, respect your ancestors, and I'm telling you, You have to learn the history, what took place on the continent, what took place in the Caribbean, what took place in Latin America, what took place here, and build all the way up to what's happening today. Once you understand that, you'll have respect for yourselves, you'll have respect for your people, and then we can start to build from there. But you have to learn the history. And some people don't know what the history is. Some people can't even comprehend what they're reading. And that's another issue. But I don't want to hold you up, man. Go do your thing, brother. Oh, before we go, bruh, you got to go take a DNA test, bro. I think you got Gullah Geechee history. I mean ancestry, right? Yeah. I know. So that's why you looking damn near 100% sub-Saharan African. You might want to go get tested, but you probably in the high. I know you definitely in the 90s, genetically, right? So go check that out. Go check out what your genetic lineage is. I think it'll be a good thing. On top of that, it'll help you put together your family tree, and then you can come back and research your family and see all the great things that they did. Because you never know who you could be related to.
Mm-hmm. Finding out all kinds of stuff now. You know what I mean? But
absolutely.
Anyways,
and I'm talking about what the ones that did here, bro. Just to let some folks are like, I don't know, I'm talking about what your ancestors did here in the States.
Yeah. Hey, I think I'm gonna do a panel this week because I'm off on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'm gonna do a panel this week where we just chop it up. That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a chill ass show. But anyways, shout out to the Mighty LDBC. Shout out to my brothers. Shout out to my brothers BBO, Coach, and my brother Callie, man. Shout out to y'all. Everybody in the chat, super chat, everybody smash the like button. Thank y'all. Y'all make this place what it is. I appreciate y'all. For real, I appreciate every last one of y'all. Y'all have a great day and try to have a prosperous week. And I'll talk to y'all on this week, all right? Y'all have a good one. Peace.